Let Facebook know that we are live. There we go. Let's see. What is up, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. How's everybody doing today? Coming to reality to end your anxiety suffering. That is what we're going to be talking about in today's stream. Of course, we'll give it a few minutes to let some people get in here. YouTube usually sends out notifications fashionably late nowadays for some reason. Um, so we'll hang out for a few minutes before we actually get the point of this stream going. But that is what we're going to be talking about today. Coming to reality to end your anxiety suffering. That is the topic of today's stream. I should probably move my webcam down a little bit, but that's fine. We're just going to roll with it. We're just gonna roll with it. I have to break my neck to look up at the second monitor. Ugh. Welcome everybody. Come in, come in, come in. How is everybody doing today? Coming to reality to end your anxiety suffering. Today's topic. I have a feeling that it is going to be a good one today. All right, you guys. I just finished eating ice cream, so hopefully I don't have a bunch of leftover vanilla ice cream on my face, but if I do, just overlook it. Just overlook it. That's not what's important, right? That's not what's important. Don't worry about it. Come in, come in. Hello everyone. Give it a few more minutes before we get going here. If you watch these streams after they get uploaded, if you rarely make it to the live streams while they're happening, make sure you have that notification bell ring so you can be notified when we go live. And always keep in mind that the point of the stream usually happens a few minutes into the stream, so you don't have to sit around and waste too much time watching the beginning, because usually in the beginning we just wait on people to get here. It's not very exciting at first, so if you're always late to the streams, if you watch them after the fact, just skip through the first few minutes until we get into the point of the stream. All right. How long has it been since we've uploaded on this channel? When was our last stream? A few days ago? Not really sure. Yesterday? Hmm. I don't even remember. A day ago? Okay. How is everybody doing today? All right. All right, we're about 4 minutes into this, so let's go ahead and get the point of this stream going. Coming to reality to end your anxiety suffering. That is the topic of today's stream. So, what do we mean by that? What do I mean when I say come into reality to end your anxiety suffering? What do I mean by that? What am I referring to there? Now, a lot of people, all right, this is important to point out. A lot of people think, well, I get what you're saying by being present. I get what you're saying by coming back to reality instead of following those negative thoughts down the rabbit hole. I get everything that you're saying. That's simple enough, right? It's simple enough. I've contemplated it. I get it. But here's the problem, Wonder Bro. Here's the problem. When you tell me to come to reality to end my anxiety suffering, well, the problem is I'm already suffering. I've got these anxious feelings, all right? I'm feeling anxiety. I'm feeling panic right now. So what do you mean? It is happening. It's not imagination, it's happening. And that's the biggest loophole that people try to find when I say be present to end your suffering. But here, let me debunk that for you, because I was one of those people that lived in that state of, okay, well, that's all fine and good, come to the present moment. Yeah, that's all fine and dandy. But my problem is I'm suffering now. Like these symptoms are actually happening. But let me explain something to you, all right? Because I stayed stuck in that loophole for a long time. Let me explain something to you. You can be highly anxious. You can be experiencing all sorts of anxiety and panic symptoms right now, and I'm not trying to deny that. That can be a thing. You can be experiencing all sorts of anxiety and panic symptoms right now. Sorry for the frame drops. I know we're dropping frames. We're skipping a little bit. You can be experiencing all sorts of anxiety and panic symptoms right now. Yes, I'm not denying that. But here's the problem with that. Okay, here's the problem with that. If you look into your mind, and if you become quiet enough to look into your mind, you will see that your thoughts are not based on what you're experiencing now. They might be in a roundabout way, right? They might be in a roundabout way, but they're always based on some sort of what might happen next, or what might happen because of these symptoms, what might happen if they grow, what might happen if they don't stop, what might happen if they get stronger, what might happen if this symptom pops up. It's always some sort of mind game based on what might happen, but is never happening now. So, yes, you may be experiencing anxiety and panic symptoms right now. That is true. But the true source of your suffering is not coming from the symptoms that you're experiencing now. They're coming from your mind that is always based on what's going to happen next, or what might happen because of the symptoms, right? So you can be experiencing a lot of anxiety and panic symptoms right now, but chances are you have never been fully present with them. All right. Chances are you have never been fully present with your anxiety and panic symptoms, because if you were fully present with your anxiety and panic symptoms, you would see that the true source of fear, the true source of suffering, always comes from this mind game. It never comes from being fully present. If you're fully present, even if, all right, I'm going to debunk that for you, even if you are anxious or are experiencing anxiety and panic symptoms, if you were fully present with them, they would not be a bad thing. They would not be true fear. It would not be true suffering. Fear is always based on what might happen because, or what's coming around the corner. What's around the corner? What's around the corner? All right, so you can take, and I made this example the other day and I really, really enjoyed it. If you could take someone who's in the throe of an extremely strong panic attack, right? If you could take someone who's in the throe of an extremely, extremely strong panic attack and peek into their mind, you would see that their mind is coming up with stories about what's happening, or what might happen, or what might happen because. It's always coming up with stories. It's never fully present. It's never rooted in reality. And that's why I say when you come into reality, you end your anxiety suffering. That's because you can be completely, uh, anxiety ridden. But if you're rooted in reality, that doesn't mean that you're going to suffer. It doesn't mean you're going to experience fear. If you're rooted in reality, okay, your anxiety and panic symptoms do not have to cause suffering, right? Because you're rooted in reality. And when you're rooted in reality, you see that your anxiety and panic symptoms aren't as bad as your mind has always been making them out to be. You see that your anxiety and panic symptoms aren't this great, horrible monster that your mind has always been making them out to be. You see that your anxiety and panic symptoms, while maybe uncomfortable, are not this big, huge, towering, horrible, horrible thing. It's only when that mind gets kick-started, it's only when that mind gets going and you start identifying with it, and you start following those thoughts down the rabbit hole instead of just accepting them and letting them go. It's only when you start identifying with that inner dialogue that you start to get carried away, and that you start to truly suffer and become truly fearful, right? So don't do what I used to do, which was to take the easy way out and tell myself, well, it's actually the hard way, but to tell myself, oh, well, I can't be present because I'm feeling anxiety and panic now. Okay, that's fine. You can be experiencing anxiety and panic now, but if you come into reality, you will end your anxiety suffering, because it's not the symptoms, it's not the panic that's making this thing to be so, out to be so bad. That's not what's making you suffer. What's making you suffer, All right. What's making you truly suffer is the identification with the mind that is always anywhere but here, and it's always based on what might happen next. So your true source of suffering is coming from what might happen next, which is always based on some sort of imagination, right? And that is our main point. That is our main point. So when I say come into reality and end your anxiety suffering, I don't mean come into reality so you can make the symptoms disappear. Yes, the symptoms will fade as a result of healing. But when you come into reality and you stop the mind game, you stop identifying with the mind, you step out of that mind game, right? What you're doing is you are stepping out of the true source of suffering, which is the mind game. And you'll see that the more you practice presence. You'll see that the more you practice not following those thoughts. So it's not the symptoms that are your true source of suffering. It's not the panic, the anxiety. It's the mind game that you continue to play. So when we come into reality, you end the anxiety suffering because fear is always based on what might happen next. It's never based on what's happening now. You can be present with your feelings, and then you will come to the realization that your feelings are not the problem. All right? You will come to that realization. And you need to remind yourself that anytime you see that you're starting to slip or fall down into that identification with the mind, to fall into that rabbit hole, you need to simply remind yourself of that. Fear is always based on something that is not happening now. And that can be very grounding because it's like a slap in your own face a little bit. Hey, chill before you start falling down that rabbit hole, right? Before you go down that rabbit hole, understand that you are suffering over something entirely irrelevant. You're suffering over this mind game. And that is something you need to continue to realize very, very deeply. You need to realize that on a deep level. All right, you guys. So that was the point of today's stream. What is a good way to step into reality? Focus on a sound. Focus on a sound in your environment. Put your conscious focus there. Thoughts can play in the background. That's fine. Just don't identify and you'll be all right. But once you start to identify and you give them that full head of steam, that's where you start to truly suffer. All right, you guys. So anytime you see yourself starting to slip into that, oh my God, what if, oh my God, what if, remind yourself you're suffering over something that does not exist now, because if it existed now, you'd be too busy dealing with it because then it becomes a real problem to even worry about anxiety. So it's either one or two things. You're either dealing with a real problem now and you're too busy dealing with it that there's not enough time to sit and make yourself suffer because you're busy dealing with it. And then there's what 99% of us is doing, which is suffering over something that's not happening now. All right, you guys. So that was the point of today's stream. Coming to reality to end your anxiety suffering. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe. We have these live streams quite often. This channel is full of helpful information to help you live a better life. So don't be afraid to subscribe. All right, you guys, let's start. Let's read some comments. We are so close to 10K. So close to 10K subs. I'm excited. I'm excited. I would like to get to know you guys in the chat. Don't be shy. Let me know how your day has been. Let me know how your day has been. Just started listening in Dublin, Ireland this week to your posts. Really identify with it all. Reality is where the peace is, and anxiety practically ends. But for me, it can be very difficult to stay in reality. Love the show, bro. And that's common, John. That is very, very common. A lot of people, when they first start practicing being present, when they first start practicing stepping out of that mind game, right? It's very, very common for it to be a bit difficult at first. Just keep practicing, keep going. You'll get the hang of it. I made it, brother. What's up, Sanchez, dude? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good day. Can anxiety cause shortness of breath on and off for days? Shortness of breath, yes. Yes. I have a fear of going insane to where I convince myself I will be possessed and that I can hear voices, etc. Is this an anxiety symptom? Yes, it is, and it was probably the one I suffered with the most myself personally. Not so much the possessed thing, but that's also a very common, you know, really outlandish, anxious thought that a lot of people struggle with. But yes, going insane, that was probably my number one fear. So I was always living in imagination, right? I was suffering over imagination, and that's what you need to realize that you're doing too. Evan Star, thank you so much for the $6 dono. I appreciate you. Can we show them some love in the chat, please? Thank you so much for that $6 dono. Let's get this updated. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for that. That truly helps me out a ton. Thank you, thank you. Let's get this updated real quick. I'm just going to put star. I hope that works for you. Thank you so much for that $6 dono. And I will get back into the comments in just a second. Update all this real quick. All right. Thank you so much for that. I truly appreciate it.
Donation.
Sanchez, thank you so much for the $25 dono. You guys are too kind. Thank you so much for that, Sanchez, dude. I really, really appreciate it. That helps me out a ton. Thank you so much, Sanchez. That's so kind of you. What is that? 31? Thank you guys. I love you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sanchez, my dude, you didn't have to do that. Sanchez. Right up there on the stream MVP. Thank you so much, dude. I am very deep into healing and into implement your methods. I still want to get your input on something. I'm new to your channel. Do you take calls? We'll donate. We don't take like live calls. That would be cool if we could do something like that one day. I don't know if you can do that on YouTube. Uh, that would be cool if we could set something like that up, but currently no. You can ask your question in the chat though, and I will do my very best to answer it. You don't have to donate to ask questions. Keep that in mind. You don't have to donate. Donating is just something people do out of the kindness of their own heart. It's not required. I'm very thankful for it though. Thank you so much, Sanchez Star. Thank you guys for making it possible for me to continue to do this every single day. You guys keep the show running. All right. You guys make it possible for me to focus on this and this only. So I do appreciate it. Anxiety makes it feel like I'm literally about to vomit. This makes me freak out in public and in restaurants. Very common. Very, very common feeling. You're not alone there. I woke up with anxiety and don't understand it because I'm not even thinking yet. So how is it in my thoughts? So when you first wake up, your body's got to get going, right? It's like a car that hasn't been started in a while. Your body's got to get warmed up. It's got to get going. You got a bunch of levels that are out of whack. And that's why a lot of people suffer with morning anxiety. Very, very common. The worst thing you can do is when you have morning anxiety is to let that get up in your mind and to make you start identifying with all these thoughts, and then you're starting to suffer over imagination. Your feelings alone are fine. It's when we start to get identified with the mind that they become a problem. I read somewhere that it takes about 15 exposures to desensitize from a certain trigger. Can there be failed attempts in between, or does it have to be 15 successful attempts in a row? I'm not so sure about that number. It's different for everybody. I wouldn't put that pressure on yourself and say, okay, it's going to take 15 attempts, and then try to live up to that. It's different for everybody. Can there be failed attempts in between, or does it have to be successful attempts in a row? There could be failed attempts. You're human, right? You're part human, so there can be failed attempts. No problem. Don't beat yourself up. Let's see. What's up, Rich? It's been a while, dude. How have you been? I keep telling myself that my symptoms are more than anxiety. Can my imagination cause the experience that I'm hearing voices, etc.? Your imagination can make you feel a lot of ways. It can fill you full of fear because your body doesn't know the difference between just your imagination and a real danger. That is a huge fact you need to focus on. All right. Anytime you start to get identified with the mind, remind yourself of that simple fact. Can you have anxiety without physical symptoms? Yeah, you can have mental symptoms. What about physical pains, Wonder Bro? Sometimes I get a bit of chest tightness and chest pains. Would it apply to actual pain as well? Being present, whether it's a mental struggle or a physical pain, being present is always going to make you feel better, right? Even if it is a physical pain, there is no sense in getting involved with that negative mind. It'll always be pointless to get involved with that negative mind, whether we're talking about physical pain or not. Um, if it gets to the point like you feel like you're in some sort of medical possible medical emergency or whatever, yeah, go to the hospital, go see a doctor. But if you're experiencing just physical pain from anxiety, in my opinion, continue to stay present. It'll never be a bad idea to be present, regardless of what you're dealing with, right? But with that being said, go see a doctor if you feel like you're in some sort of medical emergency. Will, what's up, dude? You seem very experienced with this. My issue is a bit long to type. How can I contact you for a quick consult or something like that? You can try to reach out to me on my social media, Vacate Fear. I'll do my best to get back to you, but I'm really kind of shitty at checking my social media, to be honest. Most of the time, people get their questions answered here in chat. Did Rich ask a question? I must have missed it. I don't see it. What does it take to truly accept, to stop identifying with that mind, right? To let those thoughts just come and go, don't fall down the rabbit hole, to accept your thoughts and feelings without getting involved. This is true acceptance. Does identifying with the mind mean thinking is your thoughts instead of just anxiety thoughts? Identifying means to have a thought and then immediately get involved with it in some way. Like, there's the mind, that's my thought, that's my problem, that's my responsibility. No, it's not. No, it's not. Let those thoughts go. Itchy nose today. I'm pretty sure my allergies have been acting up here recently. Did this phone charger finally give out on me? No, it just needs to be plugged in. That'll do it. That'll do it. How do you stay present when experiencing symptoms? Watch this stream from the beginning. We talk about that because a lot of people use I'm experiencing anxiety as a cop out to not be present. Well, understand that feeling anxiety and feeling these symptoms are not a bad thing, and that's not what's causing you to suffer. What's causing you to suffer is the mental game that you put on top of these feelings. The mental game that you play while these feelings are there is what's causing the true fears, what's causing the true issue. I've had a crazy, very unique rough ride for the last year and a half. It's not a typical or simple situation. Would you like to give you details and get your input? We'll contact you on Instagram. You can try. Like I said, I'm not very great at actually going through my messages. Um, but you could try. But I do want to say this. Your situation, um, it might not be typical. It might not be simple. But I understand that. I get that. A lot of our situations weren't simple or typical. A lot of people tend to think that they are the worst case. A lot of people tend to think that there is nobody out there like them. But I'm here to tell you that is a lie. A lot of us who go through the sensitized thing, right? We're dealing with a lot of the same stuff or have dealt with a lot of the same stuff. So back when I was severely sensitized, I was peeing in 2-liter bottles. I wasn't even getting out of bed. It had got that bad to that point. And it's because I didn't know what I know now, obviously, about acceptance and not following your negative thoughts, just accepting the feelings and thoughts. But my main point is understand that you're not special. There's not anything about you that says you can't recover. And I want you to understand that. Because when you're under the false belief that there's something special about you and your situation to where you can't recover, to where acceptance won't work for you, that's a shitty situation. That's a shitty belief to have, right? If it's so negative driven, how do you accept? Well, if the thought is so negative driven, understand that it doesn't matter what the thought is about. What matters is whether or not you're giving fuel to the fire. So the thoughts are there and the feelings are there, but we accept the thoughts, we accept the feelings, we don't get involved because that's fuel to the fire. That's telling our brains that we need to continue to have this anxiety. We need to continue to have these protective thoughts when we don't. We know we don't. It's very tempting to get involved, but the more you get involved, the more you strengthen this thing, right? How did you get yourself out of bed? Well, first, I learned about acceptance. I finally came to the realization that acceptance is what I needed in my life. I stopped the mind game. I stopped playing the mind game. I finally sat on the sidelines and just watched those thoughts instead of getting involved. Yes, it sucked. I wanted to get involved, but I didn't because I knew the more I got involved, the more I was just stressing myself and my body out. Right? So you have to stop playing that mind game. You have to. You have to. I was so badly sensitized, mainly visually. I was bedbound for a bit too. Yeah, but you're not positive in yourself. You have to be positive. Okay, yes, but there's a difference between telling yourself you have what it takes to recover and arguing with negative thoughts. Understand that the more you argue with negative thoughts, you're in a hamster wheel, right? And the more you argue with negative thoughts, the more you're telling your brain this is important, this is dangerous, and I'm trying my best to do something about it. So the brain says, oh shit, bro, I got you. Here's more anxiety for you because you're obviously very, very invested in this, or else you wouldn't be fighting with your mind all day. So here's more anxiety because there's some sort of real problem going on here. That's what you're telling your brain the more you try to shove positivity in the face of negativity. It's never going to work. You can play that hamster wheel game for as long as you want. And believe me, I played it for about 3 years. It doesn't work. It does not work. So the only way that does work is true acceptance. True acceptance is to let those feelings and thoughts be there if they want to be. That doesn't mean that you're agreeing with them. That doesn't mean that you're saying that they're right. That doesn't mean anything. It just means that you're no longer showing them any importance. And when you stop showing them importance, they start to piss off, right? But as long as you continue to open the door to this neighbor who keeps shitting in your living room, he's going to keep coming in and shitting in your living room because you keep opening the door. It doesn't matter if you yell at him while he's in your house. As long as you keep opening the door to begin with, he's going to keep coming in and shitting in your living room. So every day you wake up to this big pile of shit on your living room sofa. And you wonder why it continues to be there. It's because you continue to open the door to these thoughts. Stop opening the door, period. Let them be there if they want to be. They can knock as much as they want to knock. Okay, they can knock as much as they want to knock. You don't have to open the door. You don't have to open the door. You do not have to open the door. Stop opening the door. Stop playing the game. You continue to play the game and you continue to get knocked out. And you're going to continue to get knocked out because you're basically going up against Mike Tyson in his prime and you have no prior experience with boxing whatsoever. The only way to win the game is stop playing the game. Stop playing. Step out of the ring. Step out of the ring. So we have to accept these thoughts. We have to accept these feelings without getting involved. And they might make us feel shitty from time to time. That's fine as long as we're accepting the thoughts and the feelings without getting involved and falling down that rabbit hole and playing the game of fear, right? Then we'll be okay because we've stopped fueling the fire. And that's what we have to understand. That's what we have to understand. It's fine to have these feelings. It's fine to have these thoughts. The true source of suffering is when we start playing the game of fear, which is always based on something that might happen because, right? Remind yourself of that. This is the key. You got it. Yes, yes. The person shitting in your living room metaphor is superb. Yes, yes. You got to stop opening the door. It can knock as loud as it wants, and when I say knock, I'm just simply meaning the thoughts being there and you're aware of them. But by opening the door, I'm meaning getting involved. So let the thoughts and feelings be there without getting involved. Understand when you start to fall down that rabbit hole of fear, you need to remind yourself in that moment that fear is always based on what's going to happen next. It's never a true problem because if it was, you'd be too busy dealing with it. All right? You'd be too busy dealing with it now to suffer. Fear is always what might happen because of this, what might happen next. It's okay to feel the feelings. They're not a problem until you start playing the mind game. then they become a problem, right? Great to catch another live. Well, welcome. How are you doing? Welcome. So I got off on a bit of a rant there. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, Rich, for inspiring that rant. I love the rants. I get into the zone, right? And I just start spewing this shit out. But it's good shit. It's good shit. So I'm going to run across the room real quick and grab a smoke. It'll take me 2 seconds. All right, what's up, people? We've grabbed a we've got a smoke. You know what? I feel like I host a radio show here with the streams. I really do. It's set up like it's set up like an old school radio show in a way, right? Because I've got like a very retro feel going on with the stream, and I like that. I like that a lot. I've always been a fan of radio shows. I've always been a fan of podcasts. We're just missing the music. We should have commercial music breaks. Not really commercial, but music breaks. Traveling and anxiety, any specific fear. Understand that any specific fear, whether it be traveling, whether it be the fear of going insane, whether it be the fear of having a heart attack, it's not the fear that's the true cause of suffering. The fear is you're afraid of the anxiety symptoms. If you weren't afraid of the anxiety symptoms or experiencing the anxiety symptoms, you wouldn't be afraid of traveling or this or that or this or that or this or that. The true cause is your fear of the symptoms themselves. So that's where acceptance comes into play, and learning how to accept these feelings and thoughts without playing the mind game, with just letting them be. And then you start to realize that it was the mind game that was causing the true source of suffering. That's what you start to realize, and that is so fundamental. That is so important that you realize that. Was at a grocery store, felt weird, like shaky, checked out. I went to my car, got panic attack in car, did some breathing, and heart rate went down, had to drive home first time in months. Any thoughts? I think where you went wrong, okay, is when you started to feel weird, like shaky, okay, due to the anxiety. You checked out, you ran straight to your car, all right, you started doing all these breathing exercises. Automatically you're putting yourself in a place of resistance, right? You need to just keep walking right through it. And I know that's easier said than done, especially at first, but understand that you immediately started to play that mind game too. You didn't even state that in your message, but I can tell you you did. When you started to feel the symptoms first come on, you immediately jumped into the mind game of what might happen next, what might happen because, and that's what started to really drag you into the fear. That's where the true fear started. Not the shakiness, not the feeling weird. These symptoms alone are not enough to make you suffer. What really started to push you down was when you started to play the mind game after the symptoms came on, about what might happen next or what might happen because this, that. So, and this is what we're trying to teach to everybody. It's when you start playing the mind game of fear, which is always based on imagination, that you truly start to suffer. Not because you're experiencing symptoms, but because you start playing the mind game. I should keep a playlist of songs close by, and we'll turn this into a straight radio show. We'll turn this into a straight radio show, like the Howard Stern show. I feel like that would probably be what I'd be closest to. Maybe not that raunchy, but if it wasn't YouTube, maybe. If it wasn't YouTube, it might get that crazy. Anybody ever watch the Howard Stern show like back in the day? Thank you, Ronnie, for the follow. That's for the Twitch channel. I get both notifications from the Twitch and the YouTube all at once here. So Ronnie's probably not even in here. But if you are, thank you for that Twitch follow. I think watching one of your videos today has actually really helped. Yes, learning how to stop playing that mind game. So fundamentally important. The two main keys: accept your thoughts, accept your feelings. Stop getting involved with any of it. That's the two main keys in a nutshell. But really learning how that mind game works and really learning how you've been suffering so long over the mind game is so important. Did you focus on anything while accepting the thoughts and feelings? Eckhart says focusing on the inner energy field of the body. That's a great way to do it. I like to focus on a sound. So back when I was severely sensitized, that's something I like to do. I like to focus on a sound. I still do that to this day because even though I've healed from sensitization and my nervous system is in a state of desensitization, right? It's no longer sensitized. I'm still a human. I still experience thoughts that are not exactly positive. I still experience worry from time to time. And as a human being, that's something you're going to always have to deal with. But learning how to step out of that mind game as often as possible will take you to a better quality of life. Whether you're sensitized, not sensitized, desensitized in the process, whatever, doesn't matter. Learning how to stop playing the mind game is important, all right, if you're a human being. It's important. 35 here. Howard was incredible, right? I loved it. I watched it all the time. It was a little bit after my time, but I watched all the reruns. Watched all the reruns. Get a little bit of music going here. It's a little. Seems a little slow. I want something a little bit more upbeat. All right. Okay. All right. Denise, thank you so much for the $9 donation. Another great live stream, says Denise. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. You didn't have to do that. I like the $9 because that puts us at an even number. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I see you. Thank you so much for that, Denise. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to our donators today: Sanchez, Denise, Star. Thank you so much. Thank you. Great answers, and you can really tell you practice what you preach. I still practice what I preach to this day. Like I said, doesn't matter. Sensitized, not sensitized, desensitized in the process, in the healing process, doesn't matter. As a human being, stepping out of that mind game and understanding and learning how that mind game is the true source of suffering is so important. So important. Doesn't matter what state you're in. Sensitized or not, doesn't matter. Wanted to even it out. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you so much for your donation. Shout out to all of our donators today. Let's show them some love, guys. If it wasn't for their generosity, I wouldn't be able to focus on this full time. Obviously, I'd have to find something else to survive on, to feed myself with. I'd have to find some other source of main income in order to survive. Unfortunately, that's the world we live in. So if it wasn't for our donators, I would not be able to do this full time. So shout out to them. Thank you so much. Let's show them some love. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Oh yeah. Okay. I rarely ever advertise my other social media, but I've been trying to make that a point. So Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Vacate Fear. It's all under Vacate Fear. Check me out, guys. Check me out. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We do have a Discord chat, which is completely free. Completely free if you want to join that. I'll post the link to that right now. There's a lot of people, over 300 people in there. It's always good vibes. So feel free to check us out on Discord. All you have to do is click that link. Discord is completely free. Give Self, what is up, dude? Welcome to the stream. I do have a Twitch channel as well. If you're into gaming, I've got a Twitch channel that I've been streaming on quite regularly here lately. So if you want to drop me some follows over there, I gotcha right here. We just started the Twitch not long ago, so pretty exciting stuff if you want to check that out. We're usually hanging out over there, just having fun, so feel free to check it out. I do a lot of Minecraft. Believe it or not, I'm a huge fan of Minecraft, survival games in general, Dead by Daylight, just to name a few games that we play over there. I tweeted at you. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. That really helps. It helps me grow. Awesome, dude. You have a lot of followers. Banter. You have a lot of followers on Twitter. So I truly appreciate that mention. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. Wow. You've got a lot of followers. Holy crap. The neighbor at your door is such a good analogy for negative thoughts, right? Right? Thank you. Makes it easier not to open the door to the shitty neighbor. 1985 Dino Girl, thank you for the follow. I believe that's on Twitch, or is that here? I'm not sure. I need to learn the difference between my own notifications, but thank you, regardless. I think I finally understood the second main key thanks to the stream about fear. I will have to practice that from now on. Very grateful for what you do. I'm happy. I'm happy to hear that. It's always a nice feeling when I realize that somebody's finally coming to that firm realization, right? It's so important. Just joined the Discord. Welcome. Hello, Wonderbro. Just about to head off to bed and spotted you were online, so I thought I'd pop in to show some support. What is up, Andy? Hope you're doing good, man. Hope your channel's going well. Welcome to the Discord, by the way. I just replied to your tweet. I hope that's okay. Thank you, dude. I can go to bed now. Have a great stream, man. Thanks, Andy. I appreciate it, dude. Sweet dreams, my friend. My Twitch channel is okay. I'm gonna have to search that and toss you a follow real quick. My nose is so itchy. So itchy. Banter, I appreciate the shout out, dude. That helps me grow. I really, really appreciate it. See if I can find your Twitch. Right there. There we go. I got you, bro. Toss you a quick follow there. You got a lot of Twitch followers too, dude. Nice. Nice. That's awesome. Thank you for the mention, man. That really, really helps me out. It helps me grow. Appreciate it. We got some rave music going on right now. I like it. Why did I laugh so hard when you blew up? That was funny, dude. That was funny. At the moment that happened, it really sucked, but it was great afterwards. For real, I've been stuck somewhat this week and watched a video you made 4 years ago. Really crazy. You were live at the same time, right? That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. I tossed you a follow on Twitch, by the way. Second fears, crazy. We just need to ground ourselves more in a roundabout way. Yeah, exactly. You're correct. We just need to ground ourselves more. We got to stop playing that mind game, right? Got to stop playing that mind game. So important. Appreciate it. I'll catch you back now. Hey, thanks, man. Again, thank you so much for the mention. That helps me grow. Thank you so much for that, dude. Truly appreciate it. Congrats. Congrats, by the way, man. On your Twitter, your Twitch. Looks like you've got quite a few followers. That's awesome. On Twitch, I'm under Wonderbro Gaming. Wonderbro Gaming. So my channel here used to be named Wonderbro, and now people just call me Wonderbro. Wonderbro with Vacate Fear, my channel. But on Twitch, we are Wonderbro Gaming. Thank you, Lawrence, for subscribing. You are forever Wonderbro. I mean, that's what people know me by, right? So, just because my channel name changed to Vacate Fear doesn't mean I'm not Wonderbro, I guess, right? Do you feel like you've reached enlightenment? I've definitely stopped playing the mind game, right? If you want to call that enlightenment, that's up to you. I know that I've stopped playing the mind game. I like the show Ed the Sock. I haven't heard of that one, as well as Howard Stern. Howard Stern was such a good radio show. Did we just start? We're actually about an hour into the stream, so we're just kind of hanging out at the moment. We're just kind of hanging out, chilling. Wow, so many new followers on Twitter. Trav, thank you for that follow, dude. Thank you, man. Again, for that mention, that helps me out a ton. It's awesome. Just, hey, everyone who wants to do a server with whatever we have to pay but Minecraft. Yeah, Minecraft PC servers are weird to host. We're waiting for our microphone arm to come in, so that we can switch back to using our other microphone that's so much better than this built-in crap, right? So hopefully we'll get that arm in the mail soon, and we'll be able to go back to our standalone mic, and the sound quality of the streams will go way up as soon as we get that in the mail. So I'm excited for that. What's up, Excalibur? Welcome, dude. How are you doing? I'm going to grab a quick smoke. All right, chat, and I'll be right back. What's a good way to stay out of the mind, Wonder Bro? It's tricky not to get sucked in automatically sometimes. It can be. It can be tricky, especially at first, if you're new to this thing. But that's like anything in life, right? That's like anything in life. It takes time sometimes to build these new skills. So understand that first and foremost, and don't beat yourself up. There's no reason to beat yourself up. That'll never help. Um, a good way though is to remind yourself early on. Don't wait until the momentum has already started. If the momentum has already started, yes, you can still meditate and slow that momentum down. Yes, you can start to become more aware and stop playing the mind game, and that momentum will slow down. But it's best if you catch it early, right when you see yourself starting to fall into that obsessive rabbit hole. Remind yourself that you're not playing the game of fear anymore. You're just going to let those thoughts and feelings be there, but you're not going to go with it. It's good to catch it early on, and sometimes that's just not the case though. Sometimes you can't catch it early on, and that's fine. Oh, my nose won't stop itching. We're just gonna go for it. Jeez. Although I needed a bit more practice. Thank you, I appreciate you. Hey man, I'm glad you're doing well. That's awesome. How long did it take you to fully recover? 100%, I like to say a year, but don't let that freak you out. I don't mean it took me a year to experience relief. I meant that it took me about a year to say I was 100%. It's a big difference. So you can start to experience relief very, very quickly as soon as you stop playing that mind game. But the thing is, a lot of people, as soon as I turn off my streams, they go right back to playing the mind game. They go right back to stepping into every single thought. They go right back to playing the game of fear, which is always based on what might happen next. A lot of people, as soon as my streams are over, they go right back to that. And that's unfortunate, but you have to become aware of that. Are you doing that? And you have to be honest with yourself too. That's a big one. I wasn't honest with myself for a long time. But be honest with yourself. Are you still playing the mind games, the head games all day long? It's like I dreamed it was so bad. Yeah, I mean it's hard to relate to who you used to be once you heal, right? And that's normal. That's a normal way to feel. That's normal. That's a normal way to feel. You just can't relate to it anymore. That's all that means. Best not to overthink things, right? That's a good thing. It's a good thing that you can't relate to the old you anymore. Let it go. Let it die. Leave it in the past, where it belongs. There's no need and no logical reason as to why we should relive the past. It's gone. There's no changing it. You can relive it as many times as you want, but what's happened has happened. You can only control what goes on today. You can only control yourself today. You can only make changes today. You can only improve and grow today from this moment. Overthinking causes unnecessary stress. That is an understatement. I mean, yes, that's true, but that is an understatement. Overthinking and playing this mind game not only causes unnecessary stress, it causes sensitization, it causes the suffering, it causes the fear. You're playing the game of fear, which is always based on what might happen next. If you were totally present with your feelings, you would understand that your feelings aren't the true problem. It's the mind game that you're playing, right? And that's a very deep realization that everybody needs to reach at some point so that you can better follow the two main keys: acceptance, acceptance, acceptance. What an awesome stream, man. I'm happy. I'm happy with it. I mean, you can go about it like, hey, I know what the two main keys are: to accept my feelings for what they are instead of adding second fear, and to accept my thoughts without getting involved, just let them play without touching them. Like, I get that on the surface. Like, you can go about it that way, but it's really important that you have a deep understanding of how this mind game works, right? How fear works, how it's always based on something that might happen or could happen. If you're totally present with your feelings, you see that they're not the source of suffering. The source of suffering is the mind game. And it's important to make that realization. Like, you can take the two main keys for what they are and heal and use them and practice them, but it's really important to have that deep understanding. And that's why I do so many streams, I do so many videos. All that overthinking, trying to analyze why and how on the timeline, looking for patterns, never actually went anywhere. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm glad you're doing better nowadays, though, Excalibur. That's awesome. That is awesome. Where are my bookmarks going? Like, they just disappear. I've been bookmarking a good playlist for streams, and I can't find them. They're not anywhere to be found in my bookmarks. So many new Twitter followers. That is awesome. If you don't follow me on Twitter, vacate fear. Vacate fear. Check it out. See what you think. A good fantasy book. Honestly, myself, I've never been much of a reader, but I see the appeal. I see the appeal. I've never been much of a reader, but I get it. I get it. And maybe one day. Maybe one day. I'm not much of a movie person either. I don't know. I don't know what the deal with that is. I'm actually waiting on some packages right now. I don't think they're gonna make it today. It's already getting kind of late. It says arriving today, but I don't think they're gonna make it today. It's already 7 p.m. All right, you guys, we just passed that 1 hour mark. We just passed that 1 hour mark, so I feel like it's a good time to go ahead and bring this stream to an end. It's been an excellent one. If you missed it or just simply want to rewatch it, it will be uploaded. It will be uploaded. Great stream. Thank you so much for the support, for the love, for tuning in. I truly, truly appreciate it, and I hope to see you in the next one. We might go live here on the Twitch channel in a bit if that's something you're interested in. Let me drop that Twitch channel URL link real quick. Let me grab that. Make sure you follow us over on Twitch, even if you're not much into gaming. I mean, it's still kind of cool just to hang out, be able to talk to you guys. So, right here, if you're interested in that sort of thing, like I said, even if you're not much of a gamer, we just enjoy hanging out and talking to you guys. So, right there you go. Go follow us on Twitch, and let's drop the Discord link too. We can always continue our chat in the Discord. There's a lot of people over there. Right there, give that a click if you want to join us on Discord, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Vacate Fear. We are so close to 10K subs. You have no idea how much that means to me. Thank you guys. Understand that anytime you just simply like a video or share a video or comment on a video, you are helping me grow. You are helping me grow. In order to grow, I need your interaction. So thank you so much for all you do, even if it's as simple as a like. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Let's continue going to the top. I love you guys. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. All right. See you in the next one. See you on Twitch. See you somewhere. All right. Right there. Boom. Stay awesome.